Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article. It's from TubeFilter. Now, this was written by James Hale, and it was published on March 6th. COPPA author Senator Ed Markey introduces Kids Act targeting sponsored content unboxing videos. Now, I think that's more of a cover for what the main intent of this, the true intent is. Basically, this is about destroying the marketability, the profitability, the means of making money on sites like YouTube and Twitch and other places where the establishment, which, you know, would be, say, besides the legacy media, your political elites and such, have no reach. They have no power. And they're trying to force their way into it. Like with YouTube, if you look at how the algorithms are now structured to favor the legacy media, for example. So, you know, they'll still have their advertising. You know it. But the average content creator, they're not. And this is just a guise for getting the foot in the door to start doing that. Just being able to destroy the financial feasibility of being a content creator or owning a business that creates content for, the online space, whether it's for YouTube or other platforms. But anyway, let's get into the article here. Ed Markey, the Democrat senator who wrote the Children's Online Protection Act, COPPA, has co-introduced a new bill that, if passed, would force platforms with users under the age of 16 to radically alter the way they operate. Now, this is what's messed up. Under the age of 16. It used to be, teenagers were stupid. But at that point, parents hopefully raise their kids to at least have enough of a clue to be able to tell when they're being sold something as an advertisement. I mean, it might just be me. I mean, I'm from the generation that grew up with, if you were lucky, you had cable, and even if you did, there was like maybe 30 stations tops. Depending on your cable market, you might have a few more. But, you'd have ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, a couple independent. Well, I had like 3 or 4 independents. It was less than 10 stations I could get. It was like 8 or 9 stations where I lived. And you weren't like to put your nose up at something on the note of looking for something to just put on the TV. And you'd watch infomercials. You knew they were infomercials. You knew you were being advertised to. All right. Even if you got into the middle of it, you could just tell that someone is just fluffing the whole situation and blowing smoke up your ass. And they're trying to sell you something. This isn't that much different. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Anyway, let's move on here. As children and teens increasingly spend their time on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat, Congress has yet to implement key safeguards that protect young people's well-being in the current digital media environment. Markey and fellow bill co-writer Senator Richard Blumenthal, Democrat, Connecticut, said in a statement. Now, here's the thing with that. It's not your place. It's not the government's place. It's the parents' place to sit there and make sure. Now, I'm not saying literally sit there, but to be there and make sure that their children's well-being is protected. It's not the government's place to protect the well-being of children. It's the parents' place. It's not the government's place to protect the well-being of adults on that type of note, their emotional well-being. Whether it's a teenager or an adult, it's not the government's place to do that. But see, this is about the children, because this is about, let's use the children to hide behind so that we can go in and take a sledgehammer to the ability of independent content creators that call us out on our shit, that expose us. Let's take a sledgehammer to their means of making a living. That's what this is. Markey added, powerful apps push kids to buy products at every turn online, and top platforms are saturated with disturbing content that no kid should ever be exposed to. And what content would that be? Content that goes against, I don't know, maybe the friggin' establishment, maybe against the leftist, far left, establishment left narratives that are being pushed? Oh no, heaven forbid. Oh my God, a child might be exposed to Steven Crowder. Oh no, all right? A kid might be exposed, and I think, he's kind of a shitbag, but might be exposed to Ben Shapiro. Oh no. Heaven forbid they might be exposed to that. Or heaven forbid they might be exposed to, a Count Dankula type or someone else that's edgy. Oh no. Someone that doesn't push the shit that you do. Someone that doesn't sit there and go, I've drank the Kool-Aid. How about you? Oh no. Give me a break. Moving on. Because this is just ridiculous. This gets even better and better as we get into it. Watch. If passed their bill, the Kids Internet Design and Safety Kids Act would force platforms to disable core features such as video autoplay, likes or upvotes, push notifications, and any features that reward young users with badges or other visual award symbols based on elevated levels of engagement with the platform. That last one is vague, but could potentially target YouTube's channel membership and Twitch subscriptions, which commonly reward special badges or emojis. I wonder why. Because it's about destroying their ability to earn income. This isn't about children. Those subscription services, that was specifically written to target them. Don't tell me it wasn't. That's common sense. Oh, it could. No, that was definitely the intent. And the idea of getting rid of video autoplay, because with autoplay you have the algorithm, and the algorithm, unless you wait the ever-loving shit out of it like YouTube has, will follow certain trends. So if you start searching for something, it goes by what you've searched on, and it starts showing you videos that are related to that. They're afraid of the rabbit hole. That's what the autoplay thing's about. The whole idea of likes and upvotes, they want to get rid of that because they don't want it. When a message from someone, their tweet, a video, whatever the case may be, they don't want it when someone speaks up for it to be shown that people agree with it or that people disagree with it, because that's a double-edged sword. They want to make it so that way you can't up or downvote something, give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, wherever the platform, whatever the case may be. They don't want you to be able to do that. They literally want to make it so that the video's there, you can't tell if people like it or not, because they don't want you to know either way. Because if it's their message that they want out there and people don't like it, they don't want that to be seen. If it's a message countering what they're pushing and it's liked, they don't want that to be seen. That's what that's about. They don't want the push notifications because they want to try to separate people's subscriber base, the content creators. They want to separate them from their subscriber base. And the best way to do that, except for the diehard fans who will go and say, I haven't seen an alert or whatever, and they go and they check someone's videos. Like, I've done that with Doomcock before, because I've, not received alerts, and I've found that he's put out videos. I've seen it with other content creators as well. So they're figuring someone isn't going to, if someone doesn't have the alert that, hey, there's a new video, it's going to help kill the independent content creator. That's what this is about. The intent of this is just to destroy the competition with the bloated. How do I want to frame this? Fuck it. The bloated, decaying, decomposing, about to pop, corpse of the establishment, legacy media. They know that it can't compete. Okay? It's beyond the point of where they're propping it up like Weekend at Bernie's. They can only do that for so long, and they did it. And now you've got independent content creators on sites like YouTube and Twitch and upping, and say library, which I'm going to be creating an account there soon on library.tv, but BitChute as well. There are all these places now. Facebook, on the note of, again, with Silicon Valley, but on all tech and Silicon Valley, you have people receiving their entertainment, their content from those platforms. And they need to stop that content. This is one way of doing it. By de-incentivizing, through financial de-incentivizing, they're planning on doing this. That's what this plan is. Why do you think Democrats are pushing this and going, oh, the children? Oh. The KIDS Act would also make it illegal for platforms to recommend literally any kind of branded or sponsored content to users under the age of 16. In the bill, Markey and Blumenthal specifically accuse influencer marketing of exposing children to marketing that is inherently manipulative or purposely disguised as entertainment or other information. Now, this is easily solved. If it actually is something like that and they don't mark it as paid promotion on YouTube, that's a violation of terms of service. Kick them off the platform. I mean, I'm not a fan of YouTube, but, hey, they've already got something in place for that. And the thing is, if, like I started out with, if you can't tell you're being sold something, you fucking deserve to be duped. And it's not the government's place or a platform's place to enforce that. Okay, parents should raise their children so that they know when they're being sold a bill of goods, know when they're getting smoke blown up their ass, know when they're being bullshitted. My mother and grandmother wanted to make sure that I wouldn't be bullshitted. So they raised me to be a bullshit artist, but also instilled in me the Catholic guilt that would ensure that I wouldn't use it. Because they wanted me to be able to smell bullshit a mile away. If a parent can't teach their kid to smell bullshit a mile away, mind you, might not be the way that my mother and grandmother instilled it in me, or taught me. But if they can't do that, that's on them. That's a failing of their child. They're being a parent. That's a failing on raising their children. It's not the government's place to be worrying about them. Oh no, the children. And you know what gets me? I wasn't a stupid kid. Just before, because they're gonna get into this, but I'm jumping the gun here because this has kind of been bothering me, and I want to say this before we move on. I grew up in the era, all right, with G.I. Joe and Mask and Transformers and GoBots. I wasn't stupid. I knew that the shows were there to sell the toys. It didn't take my parents teaching me this. I mean, I understood it. And I even said, they do this to sell. Yep. Because He-Man, same thing. And I understood that because my parent, I'm not an idiot. And two, I was raised to be able to see that I'm being sold a bill of goods. How hard is it to teach someone to do that? Oh, no, but we need the government to do it. No, we don't. Okay. Now, this one really got me because when I'm looking to buy something, like, say, a new vaping mod or a new cell phone, all right, which I bought one 6 or 8 months ago, and I did this. My mod, it was, let me just check out the latest DNA 250 color boards, see what people say about it, blah, 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 blah. But I went to unboxing videos to make a decision based on what I saw. And I didn't take one at face value. I looked at multiple ones because you can kind of tell when some people are selling you a bill of goods in the vaping industry, on the note of content creators. And the same on the note of with the cell phones and shit like that, like Unbox Therapy. Oh, I worked to create this case that I literally ripped off from another company. I mean, yeah, You could tell sometimes, especially with him, when he's getting paid big buku bucks to be doing his unboxing shit. Actually, he probably gets paid like all the time. But anyway, but you can tell when it's big bucks. Hell, you can tell when Linus at Linus Tech Tips is fucking selling you a bunch of shit, like with his latest 5G T-Mobile bullshit. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, but that goes a little beyond the unboxing videos. Anyway, let's get back to this. They also specifically target unboxing videos, referring to them, whether they are sponsored or not, as host selling. Host selling is a formerly popular and now outdated children's TV practice where an animated or live host would endorse a product during the broadcast, or characters from the show would pop up in commercials that played while it aired. So, that's actually, a mischaracterization. Because you would have, like, say, G.I. Joe in the afternoon. You'd have G.I. Joe come on, say, like, 3:30 or whatever. That's just a guess at the time, mind you. But it would come on. And you would have commercials for the G.I. Joe toys during the show, which to me is good fucking marketing. You're like, hey, kids, you like G.I. Joe? Well, here, go talk to your parents about buying you the aircraft carrier, which was like, I think back then, like almost $100, which, we're talking 20 years ago. So, you're looking at probably closer to 200 today with inflation, if not more. Hey, kids, go out and get your parents to buy you this. Actually, I think it might have been over $100. Might have been. Yeah, probably. Oh, shit. That might have been like a $150 thing. But anyway, you get the point. That's good fucking marketing. Now, I understand that they would probably want, adult commercials on a kid's show because, that way you're not selling stuff to kids. But then it's a waste of the advertiser's money. You're literally producing a product for kids. Hey, let's get it out there for the kids to see. Oh, no. But you see, you can't raise a kid to say, hey, kid, this is specifically making you want that. My mother explained that to me with a lot of things. They want you to get it. That's what, when I asked her, and she went, yeah, they want you to, it's the idea is to target you. Which is what advertising is. The basic problem lawmakers had with the TV host selling is that because the advertising involved the show's hosts or characters, kids could be unaware it was marketing. We got fucking really stupid people in this world. That's what they're basically saying, is that people are too stupid. Kids are too stupid to be able to be told, figure out that they're being sold a bill of goods. That their parents can't teach them that. That the government needs to be there to do it for them. Markey and Blumenthal appear to have similar concerns about unboxings. They aren't the first. Last year, the Public Prosecutor's Office in Sao Paulo, Brazil, filed what appears to be a still ongoing lawsuit against YouTube, alleging that all unboxing videos are abusive advertising. Sounds to me like they're looking to get a settlement out of YouTube. Have YouTube just throw them some money as quote-unquote damages and at least pay lip service to something like that. That's what it seems like to me. Oh, God, that's too funny. The Kids Act wouldn't force platforms like YouTube to remove unboxing videos or sponsored content or influencer marketing, but it would make it illegal for them to recommend via algorithm or expose, show at all, these kinds of content to users under 16. See, this is the thing, and they get into this here, right here. How are they going to be able to tell if someone's 16? You're going to have to hand in your ID. So now, if you want to get this content and have advertising, let us introduce Internet ID. If we have Internet ID, we can tell you're an adult. Then we can do targeted advertising to you. Then you can watch these videos. And then YouTube can recommend them. That would be the easiest and best way to solve it. Or they'll say, it's the only way to solve it. That's the intent. They're trying to take control of the internet, and they're trying to stop the independents out there. This is the goal. It's the end goal. See, and that's where things could get sticky. As you may know, YouTube was recently hit with a $170 million Federal Trade Commission fine for collecting personal data from users under the age of 13, a violation of COPPA. Yeah. And the thing is, that's a slap on the wrist. They literally got a slap on the wrist. They made it so that a segment of the market that is already competing with, that establishment legacy media that doesn't cater to kids is affected, because you have this big nostalgia thing. And you have a lot of content creators out there that don't make content for kids. It's nostalgia. It's for adults, like toys, G.I. Joe, Mask, like I was talking about, Transformers. They talk about those toys and a bunch of different ones and, from the era that we grew up. And then you have the ones that talk about, because they've become more of an adult market because you don't see kids buying them anymore, but like comic books and comic book movies. Because of things like the fandom menace, that was part of the situation on, oh shit, we got these adults that watch this shit that, yeah, they could actually become politically motivated and start voting like they are invested on the note of, say, Star Wars or Star Trek or Doctor Who, and they don't want that. So, because if the people that create that content start getting into more political matters, they can rally their base to become more political. So part of this thing was to go after those people because they now started becoming more political and they started calling out the left's shit. So they were hoping to use this to make it harder for them to make a living. This is literally about screwing over content creators. They're grasping on for dear life at this point. Seriously. People must be 13 or older to sign up for a YouTube account, but the FTC's complaint alleged there were a number of users under 13 who were using over 13 accounts, perhaps obtained through an older person or by falsifying their age upon sign-up, to browse the platform. In a lot of cases, it was actually kids who put their phones, it was actually parents who put their phones and tablets in the hands of kids under their accounts, and didn't give a shit to make sure that what their kid was exposed to didn't have inappropriate content or advertising or anything like that. They just basically turned YouTube into a freaking babysitter. And everyone else had to pay because, oh no, we got to protect the children. And oh, this is a perfect excuse to start clamping down on YouTube. See, they got a foot with this one. Now, freaking dipshit who was behind COPPA, which I have no problems with COPPA on the face. Okay. How it was applied here, I have a bit of a problem with how it affected content creators because YouTube sold them down the river because it was like there was a backroom deal. That's how it seems with that whole situation. Anyway. While they browsed, YouTube systems treated them like any other user, collecting and using their personal information, what kind of personal information are they going to get? You get kids watching videos. They're literally just saying the kid went from this video to this video to that video to that video. And the algorithm learned from that and started giving them more targeted advertising. That was more specific to, the fact that they might have been a fucking kid and was showing, look at these toys. Oh, look at Play School. Look at this Play School toy, this Play School set. Whatever the hell it might have been. But you understand what I'm getting at. Even though the data collection apparently wasn't on purpose, it was still a violation of COPPA, and the FTC wanted YouTube to stop. They also wanted a little more control on the company and content creators, but yeah, YouTube couldn't realistically find and boot out every single under 13 user, so the platform ultimately had to find a workaround through radical changes. They actually went a little overkill, but okay. In January, it turned off targeted advertising on all child attractive videos and disabled core features like comments, recommendations, and the save to playlist function. They basically threw the baby out with the bathwater instead of taking a step back and being a little more reasonable about things. The situation is important because if the kids act past, YouTube may well be similarly unable to discern exactly which of its users are 16 or under. That means it could be forced to stop recommending and or showing all sponsored content, influencer marketing, and unboxing videos to everyone. And it's going to go even farther than that because, see, this is what gets me is sponsored content. So if I sell an ad on my content, I do political content or commentary for the most part. I do other types of videos as well that are like societal commentary, but there's you or if they're like scripted. But I've also done some political ones like that as well. Anyway, if I sell some time in my video to an advertiser, or they come to me and I make a deal with them for it, in exchange for money, they get some time in the video. That right there is to stop me from doing that, because if I do that, then I'm not going to be recommended or anything else. It's not like I'm recommended now when I don't even do anything like that, and I'm not even, basically on even the peripheral view of the algorithm. I'm like in the YouTube gulag for my content, but yeah, they basically want that there so that anyone who sells time in their video for a commercial goes and has no incentive to do it. Because if you do it, your video isn't going to be recommended, which means it isn't going to get views, which means it's a never-ending vicious circle. And that means advertisers are not going to advertise with you, because if they advertise with you, the video doesn't get viewed. It's ridiculous. And this idea of unboxing videos. So they're literally going to stop unboxing videos for vaping stuff. Tanks and drippers and mods, because, it might target children. It's an adult product. All right. High-end consumer electronics. Kids can't afford that shit. $1,000 flagship phone. A $1,400 flagship phone. The new Samsung, like, not their like tablet looking flip, but like the one that's like the new Motorola one. That's like $1,000 or $1,400. I think that one's $1,000. Their flagship regular phone is like $1,400. But $1,000 phone. Someone does an unboxing video on that. That's clearly not something a kid would buy. But yet, oh no, we got to protect the children. This is the mentality of this. This has nothing to do with children. This has everything to do with locking down the internet and destroying the ability of content creators. Because right now, unboxing videos are extremely popular. Seriously. All right. Videos of people doing run-throughs on video games or streaming themselves, on servers, doing, like, say, PUBG or whatever else. Or Grand Theft Auto. Oh, no, that might attract children. This is what this is about. They're going after the new forms of entertainment with this. Because, oh, no, adults play video games, but we got to protect the children. Instead of the parents doing it. It's ridiculous. This is so friggin' sad. Oh, God. Of course, it is possible the act won't pass, or it will change significantly as it goes through the lengthy process of becoming a law. But considering some YouTube creators have lost up to 60% of their monthly ad revenue since January, the bill and its potential consequences are worth keeping an eye on. Yeah. See, this is one that they were hoping, and they're going to keep on hoping, that this can be quietly and neatly slipped through, and then it's just going to be like, boom, coming down like a hammer. They're going to take out content creators. That's the plan. It's clearly what they're planning on doing. Hopefully, the GOP and Trump have at least enough of a clue to see what's going on with this and see that this is about the, dying establishment, legacy media's bloated corpse being unable to be Weekend at Bernie's anymore. And if this does pass, he doesn't sign it into law. And if, before that point, hopefully the senators and the GOP would be like, all right, you Democrats are playing a shady game here. Fuck you. Even though they would be going, hey, well, think about the children, which is what they're going to try using. That's how they'll get a lot of influence on it, behind it. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.